So guys, the US bombed these 3 nuclear sites in Iran last weekend, and there is an increasing and heightened not only tension between nations, Israel, Iran, the US, and I know that they're talking ceasefire and all of that, but we all know how these things can quickly escalate. The other issue is that we're hearing a lot of reports of potential sleeper cells in our own country, the US, and there's a lot of people that are wondering, well, if that happens, if there was someone that took out a big part of the electrical grid, a pipeline, we've seen these things happen before, even our own country, then what can we do as providers and protectors? And I want to really emphasize the importance of personal preparedness for your family, and to make sure that your family has enough of what they need to survive. And I think for a lot of folks, all they have with them in their home, at least, is really just what they have in the pantry, and maybe refrigerator, maybe a deep freeze or something. But you really need to have at least 6 months, that's my recommendation, at least 6 months of food, like freeze-dried food or shelf-stable food, access to clean water, a way to purify that water if you need to, guns, ammunition, that kind of stuff. But there's all kinds of things I think you need to have on hand, and not only for short term, but also long term. I mean, long-term survival, you're talking about planting a garden, having livestock or animals, investing in community, things like that. But certainly having your medical gear squared away, if you have prescription medications, I mean, all kinds of things that you really need to have on hand. And so what I've done is I've compiled my top 25 checklist of preparedness items, and I have a link for that down below. And these are big categories, but I go into some detail there as well, so that you can go through that checklist and just kind of see, can I and my family, can we survive if there's no electricity for a week, 2 weeks, a month or something? What if you can't get groceries at the grocery store? There's no supply. What if something happens in the Middle East with oil, and either the price skyrockets and there's a run on gas or something like that, and they can't refill them, the gas tanks at like gas stations. So, all these things are just common sense. In many ways, people are like, you're just a doomsday prepper. And really what I'm trying to do is just live like my grandparents. My grandparents, they canned their food, they had a family garden, all of those things. And so we just lost, I think, those old ways. And so the more I'm thinking about, what's happening right now in the world, it's just one more kind of indicator of how fragile our whole system is. And I think, I'm not thinking, there's going to be a nuclear war tomorrow, although that could happen, of course. We've seen, obviously, escalation in talks and comments about nuclear warheads and weapons, even Russia and China getting involved on the side of Iran as well. Of course, other nations, rogue nations, North Korea and others as well. But I think it's just incumbent upon all of us to think about, how can I protect my family if something happened? And so if I can recommend having your food, especially making sure that you have all the basic household items. If you remember during the 2020 pandemic, one of the first things that there was a run on was toilet paper, which is so odd to me. I mean, I guess it's one of those things you don't want to use plants for that. There's things that you need to think about for your basic household supplies, and also for just tools. Like, if you need to build or construct something and you couldn't just go get it from the store, do you have basic tools on hand? These are all things to really consider. And so again, I'll drop a link for my top 25 list down below, so check that out. I also will drop a couple of other videos down below that I think would be helpful in this discussion. So I am concerned, as I watch the news, I am concerned about the state of things, and again, so often we've seen this so often where there's a ceasefire in the Middle East or a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine or something, but at the end of the day, they just go back to fighting. And those things can quickly escalate, not only in a regional area, but in a global impact and global war. So we got to be mindful and be good providers and protectors for ourselves, our families, and our communities. And so thanks so much for your support for us. And if you have any thoughts or comments about this, please drop those down below, and we'll see you on the next video.